Hello friends, I'm back here again with a new video for today. Yesterday's topic was very important but a little heavy for me also, sharing all those experiences and the past memories. But I'm happy that eventually today a long walk clears my mind and I am ready for the new video here. Today we will go a step further where we left yesterday. Yesterday we were talking that when a person becomes comfortable with the idea of uncertainty, their mind stops creating strong reactions to small little things of life. Like you stop being annoyed for small little things. But today we will go one more step further where we are not focused only on stopping negative reaction, but instead to be in a state of joy. So I will begin with the idea that two things cannot exist together. First, the state of unhappiness, and second, the state of wonder. You cannot be unhappy and wonder in a state of wonder. You cannot be in a state of wonder and be unhappy. These two things cannot go together. Let me explain what I mean by that and make it clear so that we are all on the same page when I talk about what is wonder. Wonder is a state when you feel amused by the world around you. Like when you look at the world around you and you feel wow, like as if you are seeing something new for the first time. Like whenever you are seeing something for the first time, you are actually in a state of wonder for that. And have you noticed that when you are in a state of wonder, all these past stories of unhappiness, they are not there? And have you also noticed that when you are unhappy, you cannot be in a state of wonder, like you cannot look around and find anything new, like you cannot be amused by the life. So wonder is our ability to be amused by the world around us. Kids or children, they are more often in the state of wonder. Like wherever they are, if you look at them, their eyes are like wide open when they look around the world. They are amused by what they see, what they hear. Like if you bring a small bottle of water in front of a child, a toddler, he can look around it he can look at the bottle for next 10 minutes and wonder and look from all different angles and feel a smile to himself. Like what is it that in the bottle that he wonders? The thing is, for him, this is a new object or something he has never seen before, and that creates a state of being amused for him. We, on the other hand, while we were growing up, we lost the ability to be amused by the life. And let me repeat this once again. I believe the greatest loss that has ever happened to us is the ability to be amused by the world around us. So what do you think is the reason that children keep on smiling, they are in the state of joy, and you look at older people, the more a person grows old, they are kind of, in somber mood all the time, depressed or trying to find the fault with the world. The thing is, while growing up, we started taking things for granted. When we start taking things for granted, we cannot appreciate anything that is around us. We lose the ability to be amused by the world around us when somehow our mind starts believing that, yes, I know this thing, and since I know this thing, it is no longer important. When you come to that point, what has happened is you have started taking the life or the things around you taken for granted, and that is the beginning of loss of wonder. And if you want to come back to that state of joy, we need to come back to that state of wonder. Have you noticed, like sometimes when you go to parties or to meet friends, suddenly it feels like your child is back again. Whenever we say that the child within me came back again, those are the moments when you are again amused by the world around you, by the life around you. And when we are depressed, it is when we have shut ourselves from the world around us, because we have somehow felt that, or we have started believing that the things around me are no longer important, and therefore not worthy of my attention, not worthy of being amused by them. So when you are in a state of wonder, everything feels like a miracle. And that's what it is. Everything is a miracle. Is it not a miracle that you exist? Is it not a miracle that we exist? We are alive on this small ball. If you think in big picture, this is a small ball where we live here. I mean, everything is a miracle. Look at it. I am here talking. You are somewhere sitting. Maybe someone of you is driving. Maybe someone sitting in a cafe, someone at home. You are watching, you are listening. This is all miracle. If your grandfathers, or not grandfather but great grandfathers, before 3-4 generations, and if they would have seen this thing, they would go crazy, like, because they hadn't seen, and they would, they would be amused by it. But what happens to us? We have taken everything for granted. We are like, for us it's like, okay, I know it is there. And this feeling that I know what is what, that pseudo knowing, or the feeling of knowing, it creates a state of familiarity. And familiarity creates, like, I am familiar, I know everything around here. So that familiarity creates the state of taken for granted. And the state of taken for granted, that is the end of being amused or wondering about things in life. We have all heard this hundreds of times. Be like a child and then you will be happy. But this is what means to be like a child. A child is always curious, always wondering about the world around it. It's with open eyes. And even you, whenever you are in a state of wonder, you are with open eyes, like as if the world, you are seeing something new for the first time. Now, let me say how this works. Most people, they love to travel. They love to go on vacations. I mean, yes, there are some people who don't, but I'm talking about majority of the people. They would feel very good when they go to vacation, and I assume you too love when you go on a vacation. So what happens, what is different while we are on a vacation, which is different from while we are back at home? The difference is, usually we go on vacation to new places. So whenever we go to new places, we have still not been acquainted with the place, the surroundings, the objects, the people around there. So it is very natural that when you go to anything new, any new place, or when you see a new object, for a moment you come to that state of wonder. And when you wonder, suddenly all your stories crash. All the past, heaviness of past, it goes down. But when you come back home, when you return to the home, again you are in the same old place, with the same old people, the same old streets, the same old work, and then your mind starts thinking that, okay, I already know this thing. So when you come to this point, I already know this thing, mind shuts down the ability to wonder, to be amused. So that's why so many people, they love going on vacation, but when they return home after the vacation, for some days they feel depressed, like as if they have fallen from a mountain. Some of you are from Riga, right? So I have been to Riga so many times, and for you, Riga is a town where you live, where you know everything. But do you know, like, there are so many people from outside of your country who come to visit Riga as tourists. Like, I know some of my friends, even Indian and some British, they come specially from England. They come to Riga. I think they have very nice connection and cheap flight tickets, so they come there, and for them they are amused. But you who lives in Riga, it may not be the same. My point is that familiarity familiarity of surrounding. When we get into the trap of familiarity, we start taking things for granted. And when we start taking things for granted, that is the end of feeling amused by the world around us. So the one thing that I would like you to do is to return to that state of wonder. Because when you are in a state of wonder, your mind has no space for unhappiness, for the past, for the stories from the past, and that is our natural state. The one thing that stops us to be in that state of wonder is heavy past. The town where you live, you already have a past with that town. The people that you live with, you already have past with them. So that's why new places and new people and new things, they kind of awaken the child inside you. Now, there is this tradition, not tradition, but like there is a saying in India, sadhu to chalta bhala. This is like Hindi, but sadhu is like, someone who is doing sadhana, someone who is doing spiritual practices, and someone who is living a very simple life, like a sannyasi or someone who has renounced the world. You can think of it as a monk. So sadhu to chalta bhala means a monk should always keep on moving. So the idea is that if you are a monk, you should not stay in one town for more than 3 days. You go there, then you go to next place, because when you stay there for more than 3 days, eventually you will start taking things for being familiar, and then you will start taking things for granted. And when that happens, familiarity drops our level of consciousness and we become trapped in the mind. So that's why a sadhu or a monk, he should keep on moving. Obviously, I understand that it is not practical for people like you and me who live in families and we are stationed in one place. So for us, that kind of movement is not possible. But then there are other ways. If we need to reclaim our ability to feel the joy of life, instead of fighting with unhappiness, to be in a state of joy, then we will need to relearn to revisit that state of wonder again and again, repeatedly on a daily basis. So how you can do that? So that is today's task. I will share with you some ideas which you can implement in your routine life. For example, next time when you walk outside the door of your home onto the street, or when you are walking in the town, imagine that you are a tourist. You are a tourist in this town. You are here to visit this town, and then look around. You will be amazed that if you just have this idea in your mind that I am a tourist, suddenly things start feeling different, and the same town becomes a different town for you. And see, I know this will not solve your problems. So we are not, at this point, we are not talking about solving the problems. We are talking about being in a state where there are no problems. So when you look around the town with the perspective of a tourist, you will be in a state of, like, you will always find some new things which you will be amazed you didn't saw, and that will keep you in a state of wonder. When you look at a flower, look at it as if you are looking at it for the first time. When you take shower, really look at those small little holes from where the water is coming. Is it not a miracle? Like, your great grandfathers would not have ever thought that you could have a shower in the home like this, It is miracle. So look at everything as if it is a miracle. The coffee mug where you make the coffee, it's a miracle. The television, look at it. Someone is playing somewhere. It was recorded. It is being sent through electrical pulses. It's a miracle, isn't it? So look at the world as it really is, which is a miracle. Try to do that in any small little activity. You could do the same while you are walking in a park. Look at the tree as if you are looking at it for the first time. You see, when a child looks at the tree, he could look at it and smile. He could do that because For him, it feels like he is looking at something totally new. And he could 10 times look at the same tree and laugh and smile again. We cannot, because for somehow we have learned that when I know something, the mind shuts for me. So this is what I mean by returning or reclaiming our ability to be in a state of wonder. This ability gives us the power to be amused by the world around us, and that is the state where joy lives. So I hope that you will be able to integrate these practices in your daily life. If you have got any questions, or if you would like to share your opinions or experiences, you know where you can do that. So I think that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with a new video. It's always a pleasure to come to you and talk to you. Have a nice day. Thank you.